Hello dogs, Lildawg right here right now. Welcome back to Age of Civilizations 2. As you can see, we are no longer in Mali. I've actually gotten bored of that playthrough and been wanting to do something else. I will finish up my African conquest and stuff like that off camera, and then I'll show you everything in a time lapse, but the Mali series is pretty much over at this point. And I'm doing something I've been wanting to do for a while now, but haven't really gotten to. Play as an Aboriginal tribe in Australia. As you can tell, we start off with one territory. We start off with a very crappy economy. And growth is really hard. One thing I first want to do is expand how many territories we have. That means we have to seek out the other Aborigine tribes and destroy them. We need to leave ourselves as the only one left on Australia. That shouldn't be too hard because I went through and picked the largest tribe out of them all. And we have a recruitable population of 9,994. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the amount of goods I'm using, and make sure your research is up. You're going to need to do that. And what I did for technology was, I dumped it all into research because we need as much as possible. A tribal nation has a lot of advantages that you may not even realize. One, they cannot be attacked by foreign invaders across the ocean. Like, in order to invade a tribal nation, you have to border them. Meaning sea invasions of a tribal nation are literally impossible because you cannot even declare war on them. And so we are safe from the sea. Which means no naval warfare is really gonna occur during these first few years. Number two, of course, as you just saw there, tribal nations can migrate. Let's see, what's our growth rate? We do not have a very good growth rate here in, Can I see province growth rate? Ah, okay. This one right here has the largest. Thank you! That was not cool. Alright. That was not fun. So, I'll be looking around, look at some of the other big cities of Australia if I remember what they are. We have Perth, which is a big city. We have a core of someone else. This is is honestly going to be a pretty slow this is honestly going to be a pretty slow start to the series. Because playing as a tribal nation this small and this isolated, you're pretty much going to be sitting around having not much to do. Besides seek out and destroy other tribal nations in your area. And I can't even go and, like, nuke them from the sea because I have to border them. But yeah. Tribal Nations also has the lowest goods, the lowest investments, and the highest acceptable taxation. But you have an increased administration cost, you have a lowered research cost because you want to become civilized and so research is improved. Your military upkeep is an issue. Your cost of move and cost of recruit, however, I believe are both low. But you get a defensive bonus. And plus with the bonus of being safe from invasion as long as you don't border anyone, that is a very good strategy in case, like, some foreign attacker comes out of nowhere really early on, which is very unlikely, but it could happen. That will keep you safe until you're strong enough to fight back. And so a tribal nation is very interesting. And you may notice there's another tab up here. When I'm at tech 0.35, we can finally become a monarchy. And then 5 more techs I can obviously become like fascist. So playing as a tribal nation, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm playing as the Noongar, or however you pronounce it. Oh, and every time we migrate, we do get a 10% bonus to our research. It adds on 10% to our research. Oh, hey, pal. Oh, we can migrate up to them next turn, and we could probably for war. Choice. We have a choice. Which one of you is the bigger threat? Ah. You have less population. No, you have less population. I think it'd be worthwhile if we invade the one with less population. And then we'll try to invade. No guarantees that this is gonna work. No guarantees that I'm gonna live through this. Okay. You give me a little bit of hope. I do not care if my balance is gonna become... I'm gonna have a very low balance, but... if it means taking out a tribal nation really early on... let's go ahead and scout out the area with let's go ahead and scout out the area. Okay, we are good for an invasion. Boom! Cool. Okay, so what I plan to do is I plan to move my capital into Perth. Perth is going to be my base of operations while I send out my second territory out. To go take out other tribal nations and bring them to me. Can't really do anything about you. I need to grow. We can migrate in 3 turns. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go get a glass of root beer. All right. A suggestion for tribal nations. War is really hard. Don't be afraid to get a low balance because honestly, you don't really have a high balance to begin with. So it doesn't really matter. I have a suggestion for the creator though. Please make it to where your army does not require much more. Like, army upkeep, that... How much was it? Like, it's an insane amount. Yeah. plus 60% military upkeep. I feel like that's way too high. Alright, we're eating up that sweet, sweet 63% growth rate. Cool. Excuse me? Yeah, our development is also going to be stupidly low. We are going to have to invest in a lot of growth if we are to take on the rest of the world. I can't really do much about that. I bet you can migrate, though, and I can get you to migrate to the forest down here so you can get a little bit of that extra growth. Because I believe you do get a little bit extra growth down here, if I remember correctly. Get you to migrate. So, when you migrate your capital, you get plus 10% towards your research progress, and then if you move a non-capital, you get plus 5% to your research progress. So, even if you found an area you want to stay in, I suggest go ahead, keep migrating around, and then go into that area when you're ready to civilize. There we go. One good thing about Fridays is I do not have school on Fridays. I'm currently in college right now and, planning to be a historian, if it isn't obvious by the strategy games that I play. I'm having a really stressful time. How much would a library be? Oh, expensive. A lot of this stuff's gonna be pretty expensive. I really would love to increase the growth rate in, this area here. It'd be interesting to take a few loans and then build up stuff. Just for growth. population would grow a bit quicker and you would not have to wait so long for it to grow. When I'm done researching the research thing, I'm definitely gonna start dumping points in population growth and stuff because we need all the population growth we can get. Like, it's slowly raising here in Perth, but I can barely see a difference in Ardath, mostly because it's such a low province growth rate. Ardath obviously needs to grow. I believe Bunbury has a higher growth rate than any of the other territories near it. And plus, we need to assimilate Ardath. Or begin to. Like, assimilation is going to be really expensive because we don't get much money. But we'll get more money the more we assimilate it. So, we're going to go ahead, do that. Begin assimilation in Ardath. And then I'll migrate you down to Bunbury. Alright, let's migrate you down to Bunbury. Which I believe they have a little bit of a higher growth rate than much of the other territories around it. Definitely not more than Perth, but I believe it's pretty high. Yeah, 20%. That's a little bit higher than usual. Plus 2% from it being a forest. That's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, because a forest will have lots of food. Alright, that makes sense. I actually read a bit about the Aborigines before I began this playthrough. They have an interesting story, I have to be honest. Like, if you want to know something, they travel around by using stories. They use stories to tell where they are, like, for example, I bet you that in this, like, little alternative reality, Geraldton, they're gonna start telling you a story how they fought a war against the Yamatji, however you pronounce it. And they tell you that this is where they fought them at. And they can tell because they can tell a story in that generator. It's pretty interesting. It's a web of stories that they tell where they are, and honestly, that's pretty cool. Like, I wish I could tell where I was by just bringing up a story using my surroundings. Like, the Aborigines are cool. The Aborigines are cool. Like, alright, let's migrate you down back to Perth. Yeah, growth is really slow in the other Australian territories. I'm probably gonna need to move you to a different area. Maybe to take out these people over here. Let's go ahead and get you in for about 12 more turns. We need to spend as much money at getting this territory assimilated as possible. Because it's beginning. Like, we're beginning to increase our numbers here. But we need all of these people. And yeah, see, our growth is increasing because we're in a territory now with a bit higher of a growth rate. What we need to do is get a farm down there. Like, a farm is going to be useful. It's going to help that territory grow a bit more. I could also increase the growth. I could also increase how much goods I'm doing. I think that'll help a bit. Again, I'm trying to get the ability to civilize at least as quickly as possible. I'm probably not going to civilize immediately, because I want to take out all the Aborigine tribes down here. I'm not going to be able to get to one of them, because one of them's down here in Tasmania. I know for a fact one of them's down here in Tasmania, and I'm not going to be able to get to them. But I want to at least get rid of the ones on mainland Australia. And make this continent mine. Also, Europeans are going to be an issue again this playthrough. When are the Europeans never going to be an issue? Alright, let's migrate you down real quick. Let's get another 10% and finish up the research. Cool. You, sir, are gonna migrate over here to find the Wang guy and wipe them out. Yeah, we're gaining a bunch of people in, we're gaining a bunch of people in our capital. Like, Earth is really helping us out here. You know what I plan to do, in all honesty? I plan to go out and search for the larger cities of, I believe there's a larger city over here that we can migrate into. And what I plan to do is, I plan to civilize when I conquer all the Aborigine tribes in Australia, and then I'll put each of my territories on one of those large cities so they can grow quickly. And then from there, it's just as easy as trying to colonize as much of Australia as I can. Yeah. Oh, and plus we'll get an extra free territory out of civilizing, so... I don't remember how many tribes we get. I believe There are about 6 or 7 Aborigine tribes you can play as, so we're probably going to have about 7 or 8 territories by the time we become a monarchy, of course. Right, I need you to assimilate. That's right, I keep forgetting. I'm actually gonna wait. I'm actually not gonna migrate you immediately. I'm gonna wait until these guys go back up into Perth, and then I can move you back into Bunbury. Migrate upwards back into Perth. Migrate back into Bunbury. Growth rate down here. Okay, it's not you, but you do have 22% growth rate. There's a farm here. Ooh! You guys saved up money to place down a farm. Okay. Interesting. You do have a 22% growth rate. It'd be higher if I put a farm down. That's much better than my 18% over here. Plus 2 because it's a forest, so that's 20%. Huh. I thought if you built a farm, it went with you, not stayed in the place it was built in. That's interesting. That is interesting to say the least, that the farm stays in the same place. I thought it went with you when you built it in your territory. So, building a farm is not even worth it because we're going to be leaving it behind anyways. Interesting. Which means we are going to be very dependent on Perth here. I might rotate these 2 territories around these 3 provinces. And then when I'm finally done assimilating my Bunbury province, finally go over here and take out these territory. I also have another recommendation. Please make it cheaper to colonize when you're a tribal nation. Don't make it too cheap, don't make it 500. I'd say make it about 1,500. Something reasonable for a tribal nation to get to. But I believe then you should make it more expensive the more territories a tribal nation has. So let's say I have 2 territories. Maybe add another 200 gold onto the 1,500, so make that 1,700. That's a recommendation I have. And now that you're in Perth, you're going to be growing a bit. How much have you grown? Oh, you've grown quite a bit because you were in Perth. Okay then. Yeah, we need to move our territories into those larger cities soon, because that was a heck of a lot of growth for my second territory just by being in Perth. This is interesting. I've never really explored the growth rate mechanics or population growth, mostly because I've been a nation with multiple territories and didn't really have to worry about population growth at all because I've already had a decent amount of people. But now it's changing my views on population growth in general, and yeah, these guys are not growing as quickly as I am. I'm already way more powerful than them because I have a second territory that is being assimilated, and I might be able to finish their assimilation most likely next turn. Or when I finally do get to assimilate them. Okay, let's finish up our assimilation. I have also noticed my development slowly rising as well. However, our development is pretty low, and I'm probably going to develop quite a bit once I become a monarch. Alright, then I can move you back into Perth next turn to grow a bit. A farm in Perth would be honestly pretty useful. It would increase our growth rate just a little bit more, and we'd get even more people. That'd be something to look at. And it looks like we're about to hit 6,000 people in Noongar. How are we doing on technology? We're actually beating out the Wangai. I don't know how many other Aborigine tribes I'm beating out in terms of technology. I want to cancel that migration. Hold on. Give me a moment. I want to cancel that migration. Hold on. Give me a moment. Let me reload the game. I don't want to migrate there. Give the ability to cancel migrations if you mess up. Dude, it's your time to shine. Don't fail me now. You've got a lot of people. You've got me supporting you. You have a recruitable population of 500, so... So, we are now going to be locked here in Perth. And we're going to move back and forth between Bunbury and Perth. And they've recently just surpassed the 6,000 milestone. Good job. This other territory is going to now go find one of the larger cities. I think it's ready to go. I think it's ready to fight off these guys over here and take their territory. Whew. I don't know what just happened there, but it wasn't good. Hopefully at some point we do find a large city or something like that. I think there's another large city down here besides Port Lincoln. It might be this territory right here, but I just don't know. Move you. Boom. Of course, I'll move you back and forth over here. Then I'm probably going to wait for you to come back over here. And I'll most likely take that farm for myself. Oh, you sneaky son of a gun. They know what's happening. They're not dumb. They know what's happening. We have to remember that Port Lincoln has a growth rate of 22%, which is higher than Bunbury. This is probably a very boring episode to you guys, but this is honestly... Let's see. Adelaide. I believe you're gonna have a higher growth rate. Oh no! Wait, what? Okay, so I guess Port Augusta is our next stop. Adelaide's only a 4% growth rate? I thought they'd be higher than that because they're a larger city. Guess not. Guess Port Augusta is our next stop. Okay, let's migrate into here and let's declare war on these guys. Let's take them out. Let's just get an army, let's just run in there blind. We just gotta take him out as quick as possible. Boom. And there's another tribe up here, but I'm not really... Yes? Okay. Okay. Boom. And... there is our third province. We're not losing much in these wars. Now, these guys are now officially going to be a part of my empire. You know, if I actually do the peace deal. I thought I did the peace deal. Why am I not integrating these guys into my empire? I've won the war! Let me annex you! What the crap?! Oh, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Is it seriously bugged? I'm quite annoyed. I just did 3 peace deals, and I got no response. Accept the freaking peace deal! Thank you! Oh my god! That was annoying. That was really annoying. Okay, who's at war with who? I don't really know who's at war with who. It showed someone was at war with someone else over here, and I just... not paying. Oh, it's just me and one guy. How much money do we need to get to start assimilating you? We need 154 gold to start assimilating you. You're about the same size as this territory when I conquered them. Alright, let's get to Port Augusta. Let's claim that territory. And look at that! Looks like we aren't the only ones who's been conquering stuff. Looks like these guys, Yongu, they have also been doing quite a bit of conquering. Of neutral territory, actually, it looks like. So let's go ahead. Migrate you over. And I think I'll end this episode here. So, basically, when you play as tribal nations, basically start up your own empire kit. Like, you get the, depending on which it of course you're limited to the continent that you start on, but you get to pretty much start wherever the heck you want when you play as a tribal nation. I plan on dividing up my territories. I plan on dividing my provinces into like the larger areas. So like Melbourne down here, I may actually move down there instead of Port Augusta. We have Canberra, we have Sydney over here, we have Brisbane, we have a lot of places we can go to. And I plan on dividing my territories up between the higher growth rate areas so I can begin building up my population. And when I'm done getting all my resources to 30, I am going to start dumping points into population growth. So yeah. Anyways, dogs, I'll see you the next episode. Bye-bye!